Welcome to adding integers. Now that we know what integers are and how to order them, how to compare integers, what's a bigger number, we can carry on with how to add these numbers. Easiest way for us to understand is to think of money. So if I have to tell you, you have 4 rand and you owe somebody 5 rand, what are you left with? Because we're starting off with this section, we will use number lines. That's like we did before. We have our number line, but it's an integer number line. So we're going to have our midpoint 0. We will have our positive numbers to the right, our negative numbers to the left. Here we're going to go and see, I started off with 4 rand and I owe somebody 5 rand. I'm owing, so that's why there's a minus. Means I must move this direction towards the margin. How many? 5 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm left with owing them 1 rand. So a positive 4 plus the minus 5, I'm left with minus 1. If we think money again, and let's do another example, minus 2 plus 2. And we're adding integers. So it's a plus, it's a plus, it's a plus, it's a plus, it's a plus all the way down. Sometimes we have a positive number, so it will be plus, plus. We don't have to write the plus next to a positive number. But when it's a negative number, we write it and we put brackets, so it's easy for our brains to understand it. Here it's a negative 2, so I'm starting off with owing. I owe my sibling 2 rand. And then I get 2 rand from my mum. But remember, we always pay our debts off. So how much am I left with? It says 0. Let's check that. I started in the minus. And then I hopped towards the positive section. And the positive section is going this direction. So I hopped 2, 1, 2, and I'm left with 0. Does it make sense? Think about it. I owed somebody 2 rand. Now I have 2 rand to pay them. So I go along and I pay them. How much are you left with? 0. We can use a number line to make sense of it. Here we go. Let's use a number line to work out this one. I'm starting at owing somebody 3 rand. And I now have 7 rand from my spending. How much am I left with? I'm starting at minus 3. And I got to take 7 hops to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I am stopping at minus 4. And that's correct. Let's try another one. I'm starting at a positive 2 and I'm moving in my negative field. I'm going towards the margin because it's a minus 5. So I'm going from 2, 5 hops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is minus 3. Now, all the time we won't be able to use a number line. There will come a point when you have to move away from the number line. And we're going to have to learn a rule on how to add and subtract, multiply and divide integers. So for today, we're just concentrating on adding. There is a rule, and the rule is, if you can see here, well, let me just go ahead and show you what it says. If we have the same sign and we have to add them, the numbers, then we write the common sign and we add the numbers. So simply put, that means, and let me use a color pen to highlight this for you. Sorry, it's shaking. I have a negative 1 and a negative 2. So they are the same sign numbers I am adding. I write the sign, the common sign. And what's a common sign here? minus. And what do I do with the two numbers? I now add the numbers. So in my working out section, I got 1 plus 2, which equals to 3. I write that number down. It's minus 3. Just to check our work here. I'm at minus 1 and I'm moving in the minus. How many jumps? 2. 1, 2. I land up at minus 3. So my rule is correct. I'm saying the rule again. When we're adding an integer, we have a same sign on both our numbers. We write that sign down first. Then we add the digits, just like I did here in my working out. 1 plus 2 is 3. And I write that number. But now what happens when my numbers, the digit signs are different and I'm adding, but they are different. So this one is taken for granted. It's a positive. So it's a plus 6 and a minus 4. They're different. Then we got to see which is a bigger digit. 6 is a bigger digit. So now I will take the sign of the bigger digit and I write the sign down. Write the sign of the bigger number. I wrote the plus because 6 is bigger than 4. The digit we're talking about. We're not ordering the integers. We're just talking about the digit. 6 is bigger than a 4, so I write the plus down. Now I subtract the numbers. So in my working out, I will now say 6 minus 4, which is 2. Oh, sorry, no, there we go. And I'll write that number down. To check ourselves if this rule is correct, we're starting at a plus 6. Here we go. Plus 6. And I'm going in the minus 4 hops. So minus, I'm moving this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I land up at plus 2. Let's check. We landed up at plus 2. So to give you that rule again, when I'm adding integers of numbers with different signs, we write the bigger digit sign and we subtract the numbers to get our answer. When we are adding digits with the same sign, there we go, two same signs. When I'm adding them, I write the common sign. I write the sign that they both have. And I add the numbers. I write that one down. We just got to learn it. There's a rule for when we subtract. There's a rule for when we multiply. It's simple if we learn it and we practice upon it. You can always check your maths with the number line. But we won't be able to use the number line forever. So we need to learn the rules in order to be able to do the adding and subtracting of integers.